Hello. So yesterday I introduced this book to you. It's called Big Blue Whale by Nicola Davies and illustrated by Nick Malland, right? So he illustrated it. So he drew the picture. This is a nonfiction text, which means it's all real information, right? Last week we read a book about ocean animals and it was also a nonfiction text. This is similar because it's nonfiction and it's about an animal, the big blue whale, that lives in the ocean. Okay. Um, this text is illustrated. So it is a little bit different. It doesn't have photographs, right? It's illustrated. They were drawn by someone. Okay. We started yesterday by wondering about blue whales, and you came up with some great ideas and some great questions about blue whales. The questions were, are blue whales really blue? I wonder why blue whales eat krill. I wonder what is the biggest fish they eat. I wonder if blue whales bite. And I wonder if blue whales jump high out of the water. Those are all great questions. So good readers wonder before reading, right? They can wonder during reading and after reading too. So we started by asking some wonderful questions before reading. So as we're reading, I really want you to listen and think, I wonder if any of these questions will get answered when we start reading today. We're only going to read half of the book today. Okay. The blue whale is big, bigger than a giraffe, bigger than an elephant, bigger than a dinosaur. The blue whale is the biggest creature that has ever lived on Earth. Female blue whales are a little bigger than the males. Blue whales can grow to 100 feet long and weigh 150 tons. That's heavier than 25 elephants or 115 giraffes. Okay, so you can see in this picture how big a blue whale is compared to a giraffe and an elephant, and even a human. Reach out and touch the blue whale's skin. It's springy and smooth, like a hard-boiled egg, and it's as slippery as wet soap. Look into its eye. It's as big as a teacup and as dark as the deep sea. Just behind the eye is a hole, as small as the end of a pencil. The hole is one of the blue whale's ear. Sticking out ears would get in the way when the whale is swimming. So whales have ears that are not sticking out like we do, right? Because that would get in the way when they're swimming. This also says in the deep water, there isn't much light and it's hard to see. So blue whales use their sense of hearing and their sense of touch to find their way around. That kind of reminds me of a dolphin with echolocation. The blue whale lives all of its long life in the sea, but it is a mammal like us and it breathes air, not water. From time to time, it has to come up to the surface to breathe through the blowholes on top of its head. Blue whales can live for about 70 to 80 years. When it breathes out, it makes a great misty puff, as high as a house. This is a whale's blow, and you can see it from far away. You can hear it too, a great big poof. And if you're close enough, you can smell it, as the whale's breath is stale and fishy. A blue whale can stay underwater for 30 minutes or more. But on long journeys, it usually surfaces for air or comes up for air every 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, I want you to pause this movie and I want you to tell someone next to you one thing that you learn about blue whales. Okay, if there's no one next to you, you can just think about it. Think of one thing that you learned. When you're ready to move on, you can press play. Take a look inside its mouth. Don't worry, the blue whale doesn't eat people. It doesn't even have any teeth. It has hundreds of baleen plates instead. Baleen plates are these little things too, okay? They kind of remind me of a toothbrush, like little hairs on the toothbrush, right? They're long, bristly things hanging down from its top jaw. The whale doesn't need teeth for biting or chewing because its food is tiny. A blue whale can have as many as 790 baleen plates in its mouth. Baleen is tough, bendy stuff, like extra hard fingernails. Didn't know that it was as strong as a fingernail. I thought it was more like hair. The blue whale eats krill, pale, pinkish, shrimp-like creatures the size of your little finger. Billions of them live in the cold seas around the North and South poles. In summer, there can be so many that the water looks pink. So that's when the blue whales come to the polar seas to eat. It takes an awful lot of tiny krill to feed a great big blue whale. But the whale doesn't catch them one at a time. It has a special way of swallowing whole swarms of them at once. A swarm is like a big group. First, it takes a huge gulp of krill and salty seawater. There's room for all of this because the whale's throat unfolds and opens like a big balloon. Then it uses its big tongue to push the water out between its bristly baleen plates. So it gulps it all in, and then it pushes all the water out. And up here says, a blue whale can have as many as 88 folds of skin in its throat. The water streams away and leaves the krill caught on the bristles like peas in a sieve. That's like peas in a strainer. When mom or dad is making pasta, they have to boil it in water and then they pour it in a strainer so that the water comes out. So that's kind of like what the krill does. The krill stays in his mouth, but the water comes out. Now all the whale has to do is lick them off and swallow them. A blue whale can eat about 30 million krill in just one day. That's 3 big truckloads. Okay, so we're going to stop right there for today. Okay, so you can think about what you've learned so far about blue whales, right? So let's go back to what we were wondering about blue whales and see if any of our questions were answered. Are blue whales really blue? That wasn't answered yet. Maybe it will be. I wonder why blue whales eat krill. They didn't tell us the exact reason why blue whales eat krill, but they did tell us that krill was really small, right? So maybe that's why. And they also did tell us that blue whales don't have teeth. So maybe that's why they eat krill. So we could wait and see if maybe the next time we read, we could find out the answer to this, or we could go do some research and find out. But we don't know the exact answer to that yet. I wonder what is the biggest fish they eat. We only heard about krill so far, but maybe next time we read, we'll find out if they eat other fish. I wonder if blue whales bite. That was definitely answered, right? We don't have to worry about a blue whale biting us because they don't have teeth. So that was a great question and it was answered. And last was, I wonder if blue whales jump high out of the water. We didn't hear about blue whales jumping out of the water yet. We heard that they sprayed water out of their blowholes pretty high out of the water, but we didn't hear if they jump out of the water. So maybe the next time we finish reading this story, we'll find out the answer to that question. Okay, now it's your turn. I want you to write down one fact that you learned about blue whales today that really surprised you. Miss Black is thinking about one fact, and I thought it was amazing about how much food that they eat. 3 truckloads of krill in one day. That's a lot of food, right? And what are you still wondering about blue whales? Miss Black is wondering when they're not going to the polar seas, I wonder where they go, right? Because we know that they go there when the krill are there, but when the krill leave, do the whales leave too? Maybe we'll find out the next time we read. Okay, so now it's your turn. Go write one fact that you learned about blue whales today that surprised you, and then I want you to think about one thing that you are still wondering about blue whales.